Hello and welcome to Brisbane Now. If you're a coffee drinker, there's a fair chance you've drunk his coffee. If you're not a coffee drinker, I guarantee you've heard the name before. My first guest this afternoon is Phil DiBella. I want to talk about something a little bit different about the headlines over the years.
Yeah.
And look, I know you're no stranger to a headline here and there, and I know we've had a yarn about this before, but I like to Google and have a look around and see what the headlines are on social media. And you've had a fair bit over the time. Basically, the war on dictatorship, or everyone wants to be, especially recently over the COVID time and that as well. Yeah. Obviously, your coffee baron and in a retail giants, split there. How do you go with that for your own personal, there's Phil DiBella as a human being in that as well. How do you take all this kind of stuff? Do you take it on board or just...
Oh, look, I do. I mean, you take the good with the bad and the bad with the good, and you're never going to be perfect. You're never going to get it right. To me, brand is what people say about you when you leave the room. But you've got to have a subscription, right, to actually click into the story. People start to make comments, and I'm seeing hundreds of comments based on the headline. They haven't actually read the story.
Scrolling through your social media over the last few days, Phil, of course, we have to do our due diligence, of course. Mate, a big transformation in your life from that as well. We've got some pictures here of, before and after of, mate, you had this one here. That is an unbelievable difference.
It is.
From that day to that day there. I mean, I tell you what, energy-wise, different body shape, everything. Yeah. How have you felt over the last X amount of years losing all the weight?
Oh, mate, it's great, obviously, and again, I talk about everyone's life's made up of personal, professional, family. And when you're spending, 15 years building a business from scratch and it ends up being the biggest of its kind in the country, you've got a lot of responsibility and one of the things that go on the back burner. So I looked similar to that when I started the business, grew into that. By the time I sold the business, and now I've gone back to that after selling DiBella, and I say to people, look, from experience, don't beat yourself up. It is what it is. You can't have the perfect body, the perfect family, and the perfect business if you're giving it everything you got, right? There's 24 hours in a day. There's 3 hours to your life. So you've got to prioritize.